Increasing heat in Catalonia endangers one of its most internationally renowned products. Climate change is affecting sparkling wine, forcing winemakers to look for new ways to save the traditional drink.
Well, this year the harvest has been, it's been actually really hard because the yield is very low. You know, we have had an important dry period this year, but also very high temperatures.
Drought directly affects sellers as their production levels are much lower than expected, making production costs higher than planned. The rise in temperatures also forces winemakers to start their harvest before recent years, as grapes are ready ahead of time.
Degut a les altes temperatures que vam tenir, sobretot al juny, això va fer que accelerés una mica el procés del cicle de la vinya i, en definitiva, s'ha adelantat una setmana respecte a el que acostumava a ser habitual aquests últims anys.
Climate change also affects harvest time as workers tend to spend hours under the sun hand-picking the grapes. Some of these companies even harvest the fruit overnight to avoid extreme temperatures. Climate change is one of the biggest concerns for cava manufacturers, but it's not the only problem. This year, a lack of glass bottle supplies also complicated the fermentation process.
Aquells 3-4 mesos de retard fan que després a l'hora de vendre aquell producte al cap de 2-3 anys, o 4 o 5, el que sigui, doncs tu tinguis aquella tensió d'estoc.
For winemakers, the lack of bottles may be solved soon, but overcoming climate change challenges requires planning well in advance. Each vine needs around 5 years to grow before the grapes can be used to make wine. Meanwhile, despite planting trees in higher altitudes, winemakers still have other short-term options.
We are planting more that grapes that can resist better the heat waves, the hard and hot weather in summer, like Xarel·lo, for instance, which can resist much better than Macabeu. We are planting long cycle grapes, the ones that the ripeness arrive later, for instance, the Mediterranean grapes.
Bueno, el que sí se va adelantant cada vegada més. Es va adelantant i realment és el Chardonnay i el Pinot Noir, són dues varietats que realment es comencen a collir la primera setmana o la primera quinzena d'agost.
Some of the grapes that are harvested the earliest are the Chardonnay and Pinot Noir because they are more adapted to Northern European weather conditions. Some sellers used to produce wine with them but don't anymore as harvest would start really early.
We are really scared about the change of the climate because more and more often we have higher temperatures, less rainfall, and that makes that the plant is suffering and we have less grapes.
Increasing heat and a stronger sun cause the soil to dehydrate. Currently, some sellers in the Penedès wine area are looking for ways to increase the number of shade hours their vineyards have.
Trying to put shadows on the vineyards, a kind of installation on the vineyards. Something similar is a structure similar at the ones that are used to avoid the hail, but just for having more shadow hours.
Sellers push to have sustainable vineyards and even try new techniques to keep the soil moisture. Irrigation, despite being a possible solution, is a less likely one, as it's less sustainable.